we're normal people. We are. We're normal people, guys. Guys, am I a normal person? There's this connotation that gingers are some sort of whack jobs. Guys, I'm a normal person. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome in to my Bracketology 3.0. Guys, I was checking the weather report earlier this morning. It's going to be in the 60s this week. Time to pull up my sleeves. Oh, bring on the nice weather. We're ready for it. It's sunny outside. I had to bring my blinds down on this beautiful Monday morning because the light was kind of interacting with, my face the wrong way when it came to the little webcam. But guys, do I have a bracket update for you? It is 3.0. Let's take a look, guys. What a slate of games we had over the weekend. Let's quickly give some shout outs to Morehead State Liberty, Winthrop, and I actually forgot who was the other team that clinched. I don't know, but guys, remember the team I was talking about? UMass Lowell. They got a huge win to advance to their conference championship. They are my underdog. And guys, at this point, I think it's time to start talking about UMass Lowell as an at-large bid, possibly. Let's not disrespect their at-large chances, even if they lose their championship game on Saturday. Let's take a look at the bracket matrix. We worship this site at this point, this time of year. Gonzaga holds firm as the number one overall seed. Baylor, and then how about Michigan losing to Michigan State? Yeah, Michigan, I'm a little concerned about how they're looking right now. Some of these games, they just seem completely disinterested. Now, albeit this was kind of a meaningless game. They had already clinched the Big Ten championship. But Michigan is concerning me, guys. I think they're a lock for the Sweet 16 as a number one seed. But yeah, a little bit of a concern there. The firepower is kind of lacking with, Livers not playing very well. They've had injuries to their point guard Brooks. We'll see if he comes back. And then Illinois getting that huge win against Ohio State. If you're Ohio State, you're up by 4 points with 3 minutes left. You got to somehow get that win. Ooh, that was a frustrating loss. It's unfortunate, but Illinois is a really good team. There's no shame in losing to them. You take a look at the two-line guys, Alabama. Alabama's got zero chance of making the Sweet 16. I'm just saying this, and here's my prediction. I've said it before. There's going to be zero SEC teams in the Sweet 16. The Ohio Valley is a better conference than the SEC, guys. It's disgusting. Iowa, they're playing well, but they have no defense. Ohio State sitting on the two-line. 4 straight losses for the Buckeyes, 3 of them coming against really good teams, and then Michigan State being the other loss. They kind of blew that game. But Ohio State, they're going to try and get their mojo back in the Big Ten tournament, probably facing a Minnesota team that has already beaten them. That'll be a really good game on Thursday. Minnesota has to get by Northwestern first for that game to happen, and then if Ohio State wins that game, they will be facing Purdue, who has actually swept Ohio State in the regular season. So Ohio State looking to get some revenge there, and then if they win that game, they will likely be facing Michigan. So the Buckeyes, they need some wins. They're a 2 seed right now. They still have a good resume. You look every, bracket, and their mom basically has them as a 2 seed. Look at this ranking, has them as a 5 seed. Really, that's disrespectful. Houston, I'm not a fan of Houston. They're trending the wrong way. They beat Memphis. Memphis is actually a really good defensive team. But yeah, Houston not liking where they're at right now. I think they'll hold on the 2-line, but it's unfortunate. West Virginia, I'm not a fan of West Virginia personally. They lose to Oklahoma State without Cade Cunningham? Oh my goodness. Arkansas. Dude, Arkansas. How is Arkansas a 3 seed? Wait, did you guys see that Alabama-Georgia game when Alabama was losing for most of it? Alabama's a joke. So is Arkansas, these SEC teams. Kansas holding strong. Villanova, they lost to Providence. Come on. Texas, I love Texas, guys. Oklahoma State, no way. They're not very good. I know people like Cade Cunningham. Florida State, they lost to Notre Dame. Notre Dame's actually a weird team. They're really not that bad. I know they have a bad record, but they're really not that bad of a team. Purdue, they're trending up, but Purdue's schedule has been very easy recently. So you could say Purdue's looking good. They've had a very easy schedule. And look at this bracket here. Benz has them as a 2 seed. That's ridiculous. Come on, let's be real about it. Virginia, they're okay. They still struggle with the offensive side of the ball. USC, I'm not a fan. Texas Tech, I'm not a fan. Creighton, they have a decent offense. Colorado, I like. Tennessee, they've been trending downward. Clemson just lost to Syracuse, who's on the bubble. And then Oklahoma, who they're on like a 4 or 5 game losing streak themselves. They got swept by Oklahoma State. They lost to Texas. Those are good teams you're losing to, but still, you know, that's not an ideal spot to be, kind of like Ohio State losing games at the end of the season. Missouri, no way. BYU, I like them out of the West Coast, guys. Guys, the West Coast Conference is better than the SEC. St. Mary's would win the SEC. Pepperdine would win the SEC. Let's be real about it, guys. I'm coming in hot on this Monday morning. LSU, give me a break. Loyola Chicago, I'm sick of hearing about Loyola Chicago. Who's with me on that? Good Lord. Maryland, they just lost to Penn State. They're going to be moving down. Rutgers, they get the big win, the overtime win at Minnesota. We were talking about that in my 2.0 bracketology update. Huge win for them. That'll keep them in the field, probably as a 9 or a 10 seed. North Carolina beats Duke. Good win there. UCLA blows that lead to USC. It was looking like they were going to win. They were up 20-7 early in that game. I saw it, and then they lost. It's unfortunate. St. Bonaventure, love them. Love St. Bonaventure. Louisville, you know, they're in a weak ACC this year. It's kind of watered down with Duke being bad. We'll see. Virginia Commonwealth. Guys, how about Drake? They lose to Loyola Chicago. I like Drake. I hope they make it. And then you're looking at these teams. I'm trying to find, where is UMass Lowell? You got to be kidding me. Oh, here they are. Really? You're going to give them one? They're getting one vote? Give me a break, guys. UMass Lowell. You're going to be hearing a lot more about them. The bracket metrics is disrespecting them right now, giving them only one bracket as a 16 seed, really. If they win their conference tournament, that's a resume of at least a 15 seed. Come on, guys. Looking at some other teams, kind of the at-large teams, Duke, I think they're knocked out of it. They need to win the ACC. Honestly, they could win the ACC. It's kind of watered down, but winning 5 straight games in 5 straight days is just very tough. Indiana's basically out. Kentucky, it's unfortunate. I mean, Kentucky's had some rotten luck, unfortunately, for them, but they're like 5 games under 500 in a bad SEC. I still think they're more talented than a lot of those SEC teams, but you got to win the basketball games, you know. There's Ole Miss, Utah State. Guys, just taking a look at the T rankings, this is something I really don't look at very much. Like, let's give some love to them. You've got Gonzaga, Baylor, and then Houston and over Michigan, I don't agree with. Obviously, it's due to margin of victory with these things. Houston's beaten their teams by a lot more, but Michigan's had a lot tougher of a schedule. And then I also don't agree with Iowa over Illinois due to that really poor Iowa defense we know about. I know Iowa, that, you know, they beat Wisconsin. Wisconsin's trending downward. They're actually ranked 11th here, which a lot of people wouldn't agree with because they're only 16-11. It's due to the Big Ten schedule being very tough. Just looking at other teams, Florida State, I would move them down a bit. Ohio State's probably pretty right. Alabama, their resume says they should probably be a top 10 team. San Diego State, again, it's due to, you know, these mid-major teams like Loyola, Chicago, San Diego State are going to be ranked high due to margin of victory, and that gets taken into account when looking at these games. So those are just the top 25. Looking at it, Purdue being ranked 21st is interesting. They're trending up. BYU at 25, they take on Pepperdine in the West Coast. Looks like quarterfinals or semifinals, I believe. We'll look at that. Looking at the Ken Pom rankings here. Come on, Ken. Are you going to load for me? Come on, Kenny boy. There they go. This one has Gonzaga, Baylor, Michigan, Iowa over Illinois. That's due to Iowa's really good offense. Then Houston, Ohio State, Alabama, Loyola, Chicago. I'm not buying them being ranked 9th. I think that's ridiculous. Look at their strength of schedule. Strength of schedule, 130th. Houston's is 105. Ohio State's 7th overall. Illinois is 6. Alabama's 28. Michigan is 15. Yeah, Michigan did get a decent draw out of the Big Ten. They still had a tough schedule. Pretty much everyone in the Big Ten had a tough schedule, but Michigan didn't have to face Iowa twice. They only faced Ohio State once. They only faced Illinois once. This year, Michigan got a really good draw compared to a team like Ohio State who had Iowa twice, Illinois twice, teams like that. Tougher draw there for Ohio State. Wisconsin, what was their strength of schedule? 9th. Yeah, they faced a lot of good teams. So they're 11th here. The reason a team like Wisconsin is ranked 11th at 16-11 is just due to their strength of schedule and playing quality opponents and not getting blown out in those games. But these are the rankings. How about St. Bonaventure ranked 27th? Texas ranked 26th. I don't agree with that. I think Texas is clearly a top 15 team. Yeah, no, Texas is better than that. How about Penn State at 10-13? They got a big win against Maryland last night where they were trailing the whole game. Oregon. You know, Oregon's a team that doesn't get talked about a lot, but they're not too bad. I'm not buying Clemson at all. They have a terrible offense. Not buying them at all. 98th ranked offense, 15th defense. Yeah, no thanks. Let's take a look at the Godfather, Joe Lunardi, his bracketology, looking at the bubble teams today. You've got Gonzaga, the number 1 overall seed. Utah State, first team out, last team in, Xavier. We've seen enough of Xavier. I'm sick of them. So, guys, Michigan State getting the big win last night. I would say pump the brakes on Michigan State. Michigan State is going to be a very trendy team for when you are filling out your bracket, to go to the Sweet 16, make a Cinderella run, because they've beaten Illinois recently, they beat Ohio State, and they beat Michigan. Guys, what they did yesterday, I was watching the game, it's not sustainable. They made a bunch of contested jumpers. Michigan... I'm concerned about Michigan, first of all, but I will say Michigan, they didn't seem like they were engaged. It didn't seem like they were really caring that much about the game because they already had the Big Ten locked up. They already had a number 1 seed locked up. People are going to be in on Michigan State because of the Izzo factor, because Michigan State's always there. They're a household name. A lot of people are going to be having them go on a Cinderella run. Don't buy into it, guys. It's unsustainable. Rocket Watts making all those contested mid-range jumpers. They're just not very good. So it was a big win for them, but it's just not sustainable. Looking at other teams, Georgia Tech, I really like Georgia Tech. Drake making it as one of the last teams in. The first 4 out. Syracuse getting the big win at Clemson, so they're one of the first teams out. How about St. Louis? We'll see if they make it. I'd love to see them make it. Looking other teams, St. John's, they need a run. They need a big run in their tournament. We'll see if they can do it. Looking at the overall bracket, guys, I was looking at this, and it's really interesting to look at the number 3 seeds because I view a big difference between the number 3 seeds. You're looking at a 3 seed like Texas. If you're Ohio State, that is a bad draw. If you are a 2 seed, you do not want to be paired with Texas. Looking at the other number 3 seeds, Villanova, I don't think they're that good. Arkansas, you'd love, if you're a 2 seed, if you're Houston, you'd love to be paired with Arkansas, and then Alabama being paired with West Virginia is another team that I would like to be paired with. So guys, whichever 2 seed, if Texas is a 3 seed, whichever 2 seed gets paired with them, that is a bad draw for that 2 seed. So in this case, Ohio State would be having a bad draw, and then Ohio State gets Gonzaga as the 1 seed. Oh no. Let's hope this is not the actual bracket if you're an Ohio State fan. That is not good. Just looking at Baylor's path, Baylor's a really good team, and I think a lot of people were kind of forcing the Michigan love, saying Michigan's better than Baylor. To me, Michigan just doesn't have the firepower. I mean, Michigan can beat anyone on any given day, but it seems like Livers disappears too much. It seems like Wagner's disappeared in a few games against Illinois, the game yesterday against Michigan State. Again, I don't know how... they had already locked everything up, so I don't want to make too big of a deal out of it. But you want to know an upset that I would guarantee in this bracket? Georgia Tech over Oklahoma. I would guarantee that 11 over 6, yeah, that would happen, guys. But again, when it comes to the SEC, like I always say, it's an overrated conference. There will be 0 SEC teams in the Sweet 16, guys. This is what I do. I'm a self-proclaimed bracket expert and a bracket guru. So this is what I do, guys. And when it comes to Bracketology 4.0, I think I'll probably be doing it Thursday or Friday. Obviously, a lot of moving parts here. I do actually want to look at I'm surprised the BPI is not pulled up. I thought I had the BPI pulled up. I'm sorry. We're going to look at the BPI. Is this what it is? Let's go to this here really quickly. All right, guys, I'm sorry I didn't have that pulled up. I have it pulled up now, the overall BPI. And it's funny to look at strength of schedule leader is Penn State, but everything else, the BPI, Gonzaga. Gonzaga is loaded, but they haven't faced anyone. Realistically, if Gonzaga had played a Big Ten schedule, I think they'd have 2 or 3 losses at least. There were some games they didn't play well, but you can get away with not playing well when you're facing Pepperdine. Nothing against Pepperdine. I think Pepperdine's actually a good team. But come on. I mean, you're facing Pepperdine and not Illinois. I mean, it's going to be easier. Let's look at the daily projections. Just take a look at the important games today. The St. Mary's Gonzaga game is good. Pepperdine BYU. Imagine if Pepperdine gets the upset there. That game's on at midnight. A little late night snacking. I like that. Other games. I was looking at this Milwaukee Cleveland State game, guys. That's a game to check out. Cleveland State. I'm liking what I'm seeing from Cleveland State. And guys, here's an upset prediction. How about Oakland over Northern Kentucky in the Horizon League? I really like Oakland. I think they're a good team. How about the Tuesday games? Okay, now we get into the conference tournament. I think this is going to be a very easy game for Duke over Boston College. Boston College is 4-11. Duke's going to have to make a major run in their conference tournament. They get off to a good start against a bad Boston College team. I think Pitt will handle the U of Miami. It's been tough for them, and I think Notre Dame will easily beat Wake Forest. Again, Notre Dame, I like that they're 8.5-point favorites. They're a good team. I know they're like 4 or 5 games under 500, but they're not too bad. Just looking at the other games, guys, you know what? Let's just skip to Saturday. Where is the game at? Come on, where's the UMass game? Freaking thing won't load. There it is, guys. There it is. And they're 3-point underdogs. Give me a break. 11 a.m., guys. This is a primetime slot, ESPN2. Winner of this goes into the tournament. It's going to be crazy. We'll have to see what happens there. The Big Ten tournament kicks off on Wednesday. Minnesota at Northwestern. Winner plays Ohio State. I think Minnesota should win. They actually have Northwestern favored according to their BPI. That's because Minnesota's been struggling. But Minnesota is the more talented team. If you're Ohio State, you want to see Northwestern win this game. You want to. I don't see it happening, though. And the other Big Ten game is Nebraska, who's been kind of hot, taking on Penn State. They're running into a buzzsaw in Penn State. I see Penn State winning that game easily. How about Texas A&M at Vanderbilt? I like Vanderbilt, although Texas A&M, were they the team that played Arkansas tough? I think they were. They were beating Arkansas, I believe. You've got Iowa State and Oklahoma. Wow, what a massive favorite Oklahoma is. Iowa State, they have, I think, 3 wins on the year. It's been unfortunate they play in a tough conference. But guys, Bracketology update 3.0. This was it. We are getting down to the wire. Everything's going to start happening quickly. Games are going to get scheduled. Tournament games. I think my Bracketology 4.0 will be coming out maybe on Thursday or Friday. I'm not sure yet, guys. I am geared up. I'm ready to go. I want to predict the tournament. I'm ready to go. I'm a bracketology guru. I'm a bracket guru. I know what I'm doing. Back in 2019, the last time March Madness happened, I was in the 98th percentile on bracketology. My resume's phenomenal. I picked Virginia to win the whole thing. They ended up winning it. I picked Auburn to the Final Four, I believe, as a 6th seed. They made the Final Four, guys. I have a phenomenal resume. Make sure you're following me, guys. One tip I can give you right now, SEC is going to get destroyed in the NCAA tournament. I'm not an SEC hater, guys. I know this stuff. The Ohio Valley is a better conference than the SEC. You heard it here first. Make sure you're following me on Twitter, ladies and gentlemen. That link's always in the description. I am, of course, the Depressed Ginger. Thank you for watching.